Alright, back at it with another beer review. Just got done reviewing Amstel Light, and I'm going to return back to form to what I was doing before the Amstel Light review, and that is Oktoberfest beers, seasonal Oktoberfest beers, whether it be Marzens or Fest beers. Now, for the most part, I've been doing a lot of German Oktoberfest beers. You know, your Spatens, Paulaner, Hofbrau, Augustiner. I know I'm missing a couple. Actually, in some of my previous videos, I said, yeah, there are 5 brands that are allowed into Oktoberfest. I was wrong, 6. I always forget 1 or 2 at least. Anyway, I decided to change it up a little bit, though, and let's look at some American interpretations of Oktoberfest beers. And this is an American Marzen. This is Left Hand Brewing Company Oktoberfest Marzen Lager with a tiger on it. Why is there a tiger on it? I don't know, although we got the traditional little pattern here, which is very nice. Anyway, this is coming in 6.6% alcohol by volume and 24 IBUs. It says here, toasted biscuity malt balanced by spicy noble hops with a clean lager finish. Okay, that's very neat. Ingredients are Rocky Mountain water, so this is a Colorado beer. I've had Left Hand Brewing Company beers before, but it's not something I drink often. Although, from what I've been told or what I've seen, I'm going to assume that Left Hand Brewing is one of those staple kind of craft beer brands. Not quite, say, Sam Adams or Sierra Nevada, but you know, something you can get in most states. Anyway, Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, hops, and lager yeast. So at least they're, you know, staying true to Oktoberfest and adhering to the Reinheitsgebot. So that's neat. Anyway, let's go ahead and pour this up. 6.6% alcohol by volume. It seems a tad high. A lot of Oktoberfest beers I see seem to be about 5, 5.5, maybe 6. So a tad high on the on the ABV, but not in, you know, nothing crazy. That's only like, you know, 0.6%. Got a little bit of beer left in here, but wow. Great head. Didn't pour it aggressively. About a almost, hell, is that even a 3-finger head? Yeah. 3-finger head. Kind of looks like a Niller Folder kind of color. A very creamy, a little darker than off-white with, I'd say maybe a coppery, like, it looks like a very deep, dark, like Vienna lager. Also, another thing is 24 IBU seems a tad high to me also on the IBU count. I think Sam Adams Oktoberfest might be like 18 or 16. Oktoberfest beers are technically very malty. And they do have a little bit of a hop character, although that's mostly to balance out that malt. It's not supposed to be a very hoppy beer. Anyway, we'll see if this conforms to that or if it's trying to be a little more interesting. You see some, I've noticed with a lot of American interpretations of the Oktoberfest Marzen, that you see some brands want to be, you know, hoppier. And then you have some brands that just want to be really sweet. Like they understand that that they know that an Oktoberfest or a Marzen is supposed to be rich and hearty, but they take that as it's just be very freaking sweet. They're like, there's malt in it, it's going to be sweet, you know. Sweeter than you would normally get in Germany. Make sure my cigar don't go out. You can't have a cigar going out. Mainly because if you're not familiar with cigars, if you light it and it's already been burnt, it's not going to taste as good. I'd have to cut the end off and all that. Anyway, let's take a whiff. A little congested. And got a fly on my beer. That ain't good. That's interesting. I do get malt, but almost like a little bit of an orange peel in there. That's very, very interesting. Yeah, like just a hint of a citrus note. Brown bread. And even though it's 24 IBUs, I don't really get the hops at all. So maybe they are going to really conform to the standard of a very, very, very light hop character. Maybe they just made it extra malty and rich and they had to balance it out somehow. Okay. That's very good. Although it is a little hoppier than some Oktoberfest beers I've noticed. You can tell the 24 IBUs, although it's not like this dank kind of, it's not bad. It's actually somewhat balanced. That's actually pretty good. Wow. Actually, for the ABV, not quite as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Not quite as rich. Although you definitely get that brown bread. You know, you get almost that caramely kind of thing going on. It is a little sweet. My cigar is out. That sucks. It's a little sweet, like a lot of American interpretations are. But overall, wow. Does it conform perfectly to what a Marzen's supposed to be? It's close. It's very close. This is not trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just a brewing company going, all right, Marzen, a very, very popular brand, especially, you know, in the fall and early winter. Because I don't know about y'all, but whenever I go to the gas station, and yeah, it might be past Oktoberfest, it might be late November, but I still see a few Oktoberfest beers hanging around, I'll pick them up. There's even been times I go to, say, a rundown gas station, and I see like one more Sam Adams Oktoberfest sitting around or something like that. I'll pick it up. It could be middle of spring. I'll still pick it up. I know it's a little outdated, or it's a little out of date maybe, but I love the style, so. Actually, I think I did that earlier this year with, God, what's that, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a brewery from Asheville, and they have a very good Oktoberfest. Anywho. Like I said, on the end you do get a little bit of a bitterness, although it's not gonna, you know, it's not incredibly bitter. It just kind of rounds it out, and it really cleans up the finish and makes it very crisp and very refreshing. It's a little bit lighter than a lot of Oktoberfest I've had, although I don't hate that, oddly enough. Normally I'm like, I want a hearty, rich beer. But, I mean, if you want something that's chuggable, this is very good, actually. I remember when I got the 6-pack, at first I wasn't really impressed, but the more I drank on it, I'm like, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. A little on the sweeter side. If you don't like very sweet beers, might be a tad of a turnoff. Although, like I said, that little hot bite at the end cleans that up. It you know, it's not too sweet. It evens it out quite a bit. Final chug here. What I'm going to rate this. For the style, I'll go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10. Now, would this compete with, say, Hacker Shore? No. Hacker Shore Marzen is just, it's beautiful. Polliner is amazing. Spaten, or Spaten, whatever you want, Spaten, very good as well. This isn't quite there, which somebody just took a BMW M3 and made it obnoxious. Nice. Actually, it's not M3. That's just a regular E3 series. I'm giving too much credit. There is no M badge on that. Anywho, saying anywho a lot. And there goes the shitty F1. Yeah, F-150. It's a bullnose. Sounds like crap. Anyway, it's noisy out here. And I lost my train of thought. Okay, wait. Let's circle back. Most American, actually I would say all American Oktoberfest, at least for me I've noticed, cannot really compare to a true German Marzen. And this is no different. Although this is fantastic. Very good. 8 out of 10. It's just the fact, I think I gave Hacker Shore a 9.5 out of 10, or maybe a 10 out of 10. I need some more of that. I need to go back. The only place I've seen it, though, was Total Wine in Alpharetta, and that's about an hour and a half for me. But, yeah, this weekend we're going to fuck it. Excuse my language, but fuck it. We're going to Alpharetta. That is a fantastic beer. I cannot speak I can't say any more about it. It's just it's amazing. This is fantastic, though, you know, it's trying to fill boots that are just about a size too big. But like I said, 8 out of 10. It's refreshing. It's kind of crisp in a way, which is weird for an Oktoberfest, for a Marzen. But at the same time, it has that, you know, it's rich, it's sweet, it has that brown bread character that I love. And it has a little bit of a hop character that just kind of evens everything out. If someone gave me a 6-pack of this, I'd be very happy. If someone wanted a couple different Oktoberfest Marzens, or a couple different Marzens, this might be one I'd recommend. Now, of course, like I said, I would go say Hacker Shore is my number 1 so far. Although Paulaner and Spaten, very close seconds, probably tied for second. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, I enjoy. Some people crap on the Sam Adams brand, but I became a little nostalgic for it recently, just because that's one of the beers that got me into craft beer, or at least more complex beer. But Sam Adams Oktoberfest is very good. This is pretty good as well. I haven't had Leinenkugel Oktoberfest yet. I do need to check that out. I've had Yingling Oktoberfest. Was not impressed with that one. It was fine. And then also, I'm trying to think of the other American Oktoberfest I had. I have actually, Shiner. They have an Oktoberfest, which is pretty good as well. But this one, I would go ahead and recommend this to someone who wants to try a broad spectrum of what a Marzen can be nowadays. Very good. Is it a German Marzen? No. Can it fight against those? It's going to be punching a little higher than it should. But 8 out of 10 is very respectable. And if I see this in a store, yeah, I'll consider picking it up. So, like, rate, and subscribe for CuraTube. Cure local pedophile. Also, go ahead and listen to some good old German music. Lately I've been listening to a little bit of polka and things similar to that, just because I'm in the German Oktoberfest mood. I can't help it, you know. I've even listened to some old German war songs. Wunderwall, I believe that's the way you pronounce it. Very good. Also, Erica is fantastic as well. Anyway, y'all have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow, and make sure at this time of the year, enjoy you some Marzens and some fest beers, and go ahead just some regular German lagers as well. Trust me, you will not be disappointed.